topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Camping Show. I'm C.W. Goetz. Good evening. It is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. We have a 47-degree rainy day here. Oh, it's it's not bad outside. It was like 60 today, so it's really not. Wasn't a bad temperature, but it is raining, drizzly as they say, and kind of sloppy outside. And there she is.
And I'm going to blame my connection on that.
That's a good way to go. Blame the weather. I like that.
I'm frozen right now. Can you? Okay, there I am.
Yep, you're good now. You're good now.
Perfect.
The day was nice and warm, and you probably missed it because you were in the radio studio all day. But it was like 60 degrees out here today. I mean, that's what my thermometer said.
That's
but
nice. And you know what? And that's what's bringing the storms. It's throwing everything out of whack.
Yeah, all the tropical weather.
It's supposed to be snowing, not rain.
Yeah, this is true. This is especially when we're coming so close to Christmas. I think we could use a little snow.
Right, but I'm not complaining about it. I'll have rain any day. That's fine.
I'm with you on that. I worked enough snowstorms working for the Illinois Department of Transportation. If I really never see another snowflake, it really wouldn't be too soon. Christmas Day is a little different. That's the only or Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it brings that special aura into Christmas, and it just makes it special.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Well, tonight is the last episode of 2022 for the Camping Show, and the last episode, coincidentally, of the Camping Show. So after January 1st, the show's new name, it'll be same here, same bat time, same bat channel. It will be called Outdoors People. And I wanted to just give a quick shout out. Actually, I typed something today. Can you believe that? I wrote something on I don't have a typewriter, but I actually do on the computer. Yeah, it's showing my age here, but just a little blurb here. I'd like to thank, first of all, our audience for following the Camping Show for nearly 3 years, and also to the fans who sent us correspondence from each of 34 countries around the world. Really appreciate that. I'd also like to acknowledge a special group of people for their support and patience, especially with yours truly, throughout the past 150 episodes, without whom the Camping Show would not have been possible. First, Dean Piper, owner of W4CY Radio and Talk 4 TV, for offering the opportunity for me to host this show. Dean, your guidance, assistance, and expertise has been essential. Next, our producer, Juan Garcia.
Yes.
And Juan, you can whip your
Roxy
picture.
as well.
Yeah, that's right. Roxy as well. Yep.
Shout out to Roxy.
Yep. And but you know, Juan, your first show with us, his first show with us was a remote broadcast from Brazil. And I admit I was very nervous about working with a new producer, especially for a remote broadcast in another country. However, since that episode, I've come to appreciate your professionalism, your ability to quickly resolve technical issues, and how well we work together, all of which makes this show run smoothly. My co-hosts, past and present, Jesse Free, Willow Munson, Jesse Meany, Janelle Morissette, and of course, my beloved Bianca Fogel, my current co-host. You're amazing. They've all added a lot to the show, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked with each one of them. And a special thank you to you, Bianca, for being with me the longest. It's been a privilege working with such a talented professional broadcaster for the past 9 months. As you venture on to other career opportunities after tonight's show, I wish you all the best, and I will miss working with you.
Thank you so much. I mean, I didn't have anything prepared, but
no, you didn't need to. This was me.
It only feels like we've done a handful of shows, but I'm so grateful. I know you've been doing this for much longer than I've been on, but I'm so grateful to have had that short bit of time and have that experience. And opening my mind up to a world of just outdoors and meeting so many people and world champs and professionals, and it's great. So thank you for that experience, and thank you for everybody behind the scenes that has done so much, the graphics, everything down to all the nitty-gritty stuff. It's been wonderful to be a part of.
Well, I'm also grateful for having the opportunity to work with you. So that's been a very good experience, I'll say, to say the least, actually. And finally, I'd like to thank our sponsors, all of our sponsors this year, who have made it possible to bring you the camping show each week, including the opportunity to do remote broadcasts here in the U.S. and abroad. So, yeah, so there is that. So thank you, everyone. And
Nice.
where did I lost my paper? I lost my script for. I'm all flustered now. Oh, gee, last show flusters, right? Tonight's episode of the Camping Show is brought to you by Campground Views, making camping easier.
And Rutabaga Paddle Sports, providing time on the water.
Tonight's episode is reflecting on 150 episodes of the Camping Show with our special guests, Cliff Jacobson and Kevin Callan. Could you tell us a little bit about both of our gentlemen guests?
Certainly. Cliff Jacobson is one of North America's most respected outdoor writers and wilderness paddlers. He's a retired environmental science teacher and outdoor skills instructor, a canoeing and camping consultant, and the author of more than a dozen top-selling books and a popular video on canoeing and camping. Cliff is a distinguished Eagle Scout, a recipient of the American Canoe Association's prestigious Legends of Paddling Award, and a member of the ACA Hall of Fame. And then we have our dearest Kevin Callan, aka the Happy Camper, is the author of 19 books. He's an award-winning writer and a keynote speaker at outdoor events across North America, and is also a regular guest on several television morning shows and CBC radio. Kevin has several film awards to his credit and writes a column for Paddling Magazine and Explore Magazine. He was listed as one of the top 100 modern-day explorers by the Canadian Geographical Society and was made patron paddler for Paddle Canada.
Welcome aboard, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, hey,
Hey, hey guys.
I love these. The rock stars of the canoe
This
camping
is
world.
fun.
Yeah.
Hey, where's my walker?
Hey, mister, I love the way you wear that hat.
Rude.
If you, hey, will you ever see
Oh, wait,
Deliverance?
there it is.
You'll get that. You'll get it.
Here's your picture. Is that John Denver right there? I see him
yeah,
hiding
he's
in the
there.
background.
He did make it. Oh my God.
He did.
That's just funny.
Look at
You know,
that.
it's a
That
striking
is John
resemblance.
Denver.
I'm telling you.
He looks
You
a
just
little
need-
like you, Kevin.
You need
No kidding.
the glasses and you're there,
Don't
man.
say.
Yeah. Just the glasses.
I was on a show a couple of weeks ago. Some scuba divers going through the Bermuda Triangle found a piece of the what's it called, the spaceship that crashed.
It was the spaceship that crashed.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the shuttle, the space shuttle?
Yeah. What and
Oh gosh, what was that? I forget. Not Endeavor. What was that? I don't remember the name of it, but yeah. The one that crashed. It'll be known from here on out.
And so sadly the one woman that was on there, she was a school teacher and she got chosen to be.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
What the heck is
What was her name?
Anyway, so I said on live podcast, I said, yeah, but John Denver actually signed up for that and he got turned down.
Wow.
And
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
the expert that knew everything about this crash said,
Oh no.
don't know what you're talking about. I went, yes, he wrote a song about it. No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Because I know everything about John Denver. So I played the song on the show. They're like, oh, and here's these experts that,
You mean this is for real? I thought you were just making that up.
No, it happened 2 weeks ago.
He really did sign up for that? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, what was what's the, you know what?
This was over 20 years ago. This was the days when the American government didn't want to put any money into teaching, and teachers were really, really ticked off. So they decided the way to make everybody happy was, we'll just send a teacher into space. We don't have to spend any money on education. But it was Christy McAuliffe.
There you go. That's
Yes,
right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that thing exploded and she was killed. But there's a
Yeah.
number of schools here in the U.S. that are named after her.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrifying too, because I remember that happening. I remember a bunch of kids all across North America watching it on TV, and all of a sudden, boom! You know, you imagine being a
Yeah,
little
that's not
kid and
cool.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not good. But
That
yeah,
was live TV. They couldn't edit that out, man. That
no,
was,
no,
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
back when TV was live.
Yeah. But John Denver wanted to go up,
That's cool.
and he got turned down, and then he wrote a song about it, and I was the only person in North America that remembered that.
I think, Bianca, you need to do this on the
I know.
radio. You can come up with tomorrow.
That is such a cool fun fact. That is
Exactly.
definitely something you hear over the radio.
I think so. Kevin, you
Hey,
may
you
be
wanna-
paid for that
You
idea.
want another
It's
cool
so
fun fact?
cool.
I'll tell you another cool fun fact. I taught school for 35 years, and I never had a student named Bianca. The
Oh,
only
wow.
time I ever heard that name before was when my friend Larry Rice and I were canoeing down the Rio Grande River, and we saw a young Mexican guy on a beautiful horse on the other side of the river. And Larry said, hey, you know, would you like cerveza? And the guy says, see, but no cerveza here. So he says, well, my little buddy, meaning me, will bring you over a beer. And he says, are you married? See, what is her name? It is Bianca. Bianca.
Oh,
So I brought him over, and then Larry asked him a few more questions. He says, do you have electricity? He says, no electricity. He says, well, how do you get your food? He says, well, a pickup truck comes in once a week, and we buy off the back of the pickup truck. Well, he says, do you have running water? And the guy says, sí, Rio Grande.
No.
Yeah, but that's the first time I heard the
Very
name
running.
Bianca.
Oh my God.
Mhm, yeah.
that
Cliff,
is
I was going
awesome.
to ask you something. Do you remember our first episode together back when we were doing the radio show?
You know, I
And
knew
you
you
were
were
my
going
first
to.
guest.
I knew you were going to ask that, and
Yeah.
so my answer is, I turned 82 this year, and at 82, you have a right to forget those things.
This is true. This is true. I remember it, and I'm going to go back a little
Good
further.
answer.
I'm going to help you along. There, I want to say 12 years ago, Cliff, I was working at IDOT, the Illinois Department of Transportation. And I was watching a video that you had done, and now I may forget, the Forgotten Skills.
Oh yeah, it's an old video.
Yeah, I didn't forget the forgotten, right? But the Forgotten Skills. And at the end of that video, it said, if you want to contact Cliff Jacobson, here's his phone number. Here's his email, and it may have given your shoe size. I'm not sure, but I did pick up the phone and I did dial you. I don't know if it was immediately thereafter or shortly there, but I did get you on the phone, and I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, that he answered the phone, because rock stars don't really do that.
Yeah, I like rocks.
And
I can buy some rocks.
and he was so pleasant, and I mean everything. And I had a couple of things, maybe a couple of questions that I threw at him, and he answered them very, very politely, and he wasn't quick or short with me. He was just he was a gentleman. And I never forgot that. And a few years later, my then girlfriend, Sherry, went to the Canucopia, and we were both thrilled
That's where I
to
met you.
meet Cliff in person. Yeah. So I don't know if that was 2012, 2014, something like that. So yeah.
Right.
But yeah, and that began a series of, hey, Cliff, it's your snowplow buddy again. That's what I
Yeah.
was for years, is his snowplow buddy from Chicago.
I can't even
So,
remember the first one we did. I don't even remember what it was about.
I don't either. You mean the first episode?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what? I don't either. And a good radio TV show host would have researched that and maybe had some information in front of me. I don't. I apologize, but I thought maybe you'd remember anyway. But yeah, you were my first guest. And I thought it was just so appropriate. And I also thought it was appropriate to have you as the guest on our last, the camping show. So,
Well, and then after you talked to me, I asked you if you wanted somebody funny. And you said, yeah. And I said, you got to call my friend Kevin Callan.
yes, I do remember that. I do
Brings me
remember.
to my question, Kevin. Do you remember your first appearance?
I did the same thing with Cliff. I actually went to do some research today, going back to your your site trying to find out when I was on. I went, I can't find out when I was on. Like, what the heck? But I all of a sudden it just had this epiphany. Remember Justine from Cackle TV, amazing filmmaker. She's done amazing stuff in her life. And I remember on a canoe trip down the Spey River with her. It was her birthday, so I said, "What was your favorite thing in the past?" And she looked at me like very serious, right? And she goes, "Why would you ask anybody about their past? It's the future that's important, Kevin. It's not the past. Forget the past. It's the future." So you know what, Cliff? It's a good thing you and I don't remember ever talking to CW the first time.
That's right. That's
Probably.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bianca. You're going to say something.
No. Oh, no. I was just being rude.
I tell you what, Kevin, do you remember the time you gave me your camera? I'm reading this now, by the way. Do you remember the time you gave me your camera in Cliff's hotel room in East Lansing? That was the Quiet Adventures Symposium. And I was like, what the hell do you want me to do with this? I mean, there's no viewfinder on it, and you're like giving me the business about my age, although I think maybe just older than you, actually. By a month.
Yes, but
older
I'm
than
more technology savvy than you are, for the love of God.
There is that.
I gave you a camera that everybody probably knows about except you, and you're working in the business.
This thing didn't even have a viewfinder. Bianca, you had no idea where you were. It was just, I mean,
Kevin is so far ahead of us technologically. I mean, the only thing I can really do better than Kevin is I know good Scotch.
Hey, speaking of that, I'm going to tell you something. Juan, do you have that video queued up we can play of Kevin and I and Cliff in the hotel? Because he knows what I'm talking about. If you got that, let's roll that if we can. It's a show.
Now, what is this called? This is Monkey Shoulder.
This is Monkey Shoulder.
This is Kevin Callan.
Oh, get the shoulder off! No, get the monkey off my shoulder. Someone get the monkey off my shoulder.
Put this over here.
This was that wasn't the camera one. I had another one with the camera, and I don't know why I didn't get that one either. But it was funny. I said, "What do you want me to do with this?" And then he gives me the business about these young people, and I loved you for that. But yeah, I was the same generation. I just didn't. I've never seen that kind of camera before. Where did you get that out of a cereal box or what?
Yes, I did.
Cracker Jacks.
I asked the same question. I
surprises
said, how do you look through this thing? Where do you look through this?
Yeah, it was not just me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
He said, you just point it, whatever. I still can't figure it out.
How the hell are you supposed
to? It's like life, Cliff. You just point it and hope for the best.
You hope for the best. Oh, wow.
I gotta say, what's really cool about that clip that you showed is the fun that we have at those shows that people don't really see. It's almost like behind the curtain, right? I mean, we've done shows for years, Cliff, right? And it's just amazing. I love it and talk to all these people. And then the day's over and we all go together and have a scotch. And we're really a whole bunch of solid friends we have. Like the joy we've had for doing all this. And I got to say, it's pretty cool. And that night, CW and his cameraman was there with us. And we're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Mikey loved you. He was the one on the bed, actually.
The thing is, Kevin, you made a little mistake here. When we get together at night, we don't just have one scotch, okay? But since he brought that up, the viewing and listening audience, I think you need to know that Kevin and I really have, I think, a unique relationship. But we're more than just colleagues; we're friends. And if I lived in Ontario, I mean, we'd be hanging out a lot. We'd be going on canoe trips. We'd be having fun together. Unfortunately, we live pretty far apart. But I really like Kevin, and Kevin likes me. And so you can see this on stage because, we're not acting. We're friends. And
sure, that's what you say on camera. No,
I'm really serious from the heart. I really like this guy. And I want to bring up, Kevin, what's the name of this new book of yours? It just slipped out of my mind again.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Come
on. Something about the river.
Yeah, Another Bend in the River. Another Bend in the River.
Another Bend in the River. All right, so I gotta say a few words about Kevin's book. this new book that he did was called Another Bend in the River. Hold up a picture of it. You got a picture of it?
He's holding up his scotch. You kidding?
Yeah,
He's got
hold up. So, anyway, whenever Kevin and I we write new books, we share them back and forth and so forth. And I have copies of Kevin's books, and I've read them all. I said, and they're wonderful. But I haven't read every single word on every single page. But this one I did. And this one is wonderful. This one is unique because it's more than just from the heart. It's the story of his life. And as I just smiled so many times I read through this book, because in many ways we're very, very much alike. I mean, we're both not very big. We're both little guys. I was a forester. I started out in forestry. Hey, Kevin's forestry. When he was a kid, he was in Boy Scouts. I was in Boy Scouts. He quit to go trout fishing, though, but I stayed in. But we really shared so many things in common growing up. I was kind of a quiet kid and reserved. I was little, and so I was kind of shy. Kevin was the same way. So in a lot of respects, I think we're very, very much the same. And, a lot of times people look at people our size, and they evaluate people based upon how big they are. So if somebody's taller than Kevin and I, and we apply for the same job, the taller guy is going to get it every time. And, it's kind of interesting. I hate to divert, but this is a story I've told a few times, but it is a very funny story. Many years ago, I was selected to write the guide to camping for Field and Stream magazine. Now, the guy who had written this before was a mountain climber by the name of John Roskell. He was one of these big, just got out of my Ford F-150 pickup kind of guys, The guy, I'm sure, knew a lot about mountaineering, but he didn't know anything about camping, and what he wrote was a disaster. Anyway, they asked me to write it, all right? Well, I wrote it, and this was incredible because this was like a $10,000 project, which was amazing then because I was only making $10,000 a year teaching school. But anyway, there was a modeling contract attached to this. In other words, you would go to the Northwest. You were going to go to the Northwest Territories. You'd be in your bass boat with your LL Bean boots and your buck knife and silver compass, that sort of thing, and they'd film you. This was before computers and cell phones and stuff like that. So they called my publisher and they said, "You think Cliff would do this?" And this was another like $4,000 or $5,000. And he said, "Sure." And so then the next question they asked me, I'll never forget this. This was an exact question. Is he fat? My publisher says, no, he's quite thin. And then so they said, well, send me a picture of him. So they sent them a picture of me. And that was the end of my modeling career.
Oh, wow.
Right there. Okay.
Wow.
Because you can't be a little guy. You got to be a great big guy.
You know what? Everybody in Hollywood is short, though. So I don't know where that,
That's
you know.
true.
Yeah, but short and fat aren't they? No, they're short
I
this
don't
way
think they're
and wide.
fat. They're just short. Yeah, they're just. I was going to say Kevin did a little modeling one time for a porno in the park when he was. He shared that with us, of course, and that was. That was scarred for life now.
it's true what Cliff is saying, that we've run parallel lives. It really has, and I think that's why we get along so well. Is because that happened to you, that happened to me. Oh yeah, but the classic moment was I was with a film crew and we're doing a video for TV on layering for the winter, and we're in this park. And I said to the producer, yeah, we're doing layering. So you want me to go, completely naked except my underwear and then layer, but we're in a park. Like, what if someone catches us? Nobody will catch us, Kevin. Nobody's here. Okay. All right. Moment I disrobe, this poor couples, they come up the hill.
I'm getting a picture, man.
Oh my Lord. And I've got a film crew with 2 cameras, a boom mic. I got nothing on except underwear.
Oh, wow.
And the producer says, for once in your life, Kevin, say nothing. Say nothing. Let them walk by. I know you have to say something all the time, but not this time. And I couldn't help it. I said, it's okay, guys. We're just doing a film on how to be a happy camper. So the guy says to his host,
Oh boy.
shooting a male porno on being a happy camper.
Oh wow.
Oh my lord!
That's
So,
a good name, though. The Happy Camper.
It is in many
Volume 1,
aspects.
maybe Volume 2.
well, you know what? Cliff, you and I in our retirement should just do porn. Just
There's a market.
You know,
Definitely
it's
a market for it.
absolutely, and it could be like it'll be called adventurer porn. I like
I
that.
just like the Happy Camper.
For that, absolutely. You're right, Bianca. That is, he nailed
forget
it.
the
Maybe he had that in
Chippendales.
mind.
Forget
It speaks
Flip
for
and Kevin.
itself.
It does speak for itself. Speaking of this, I'm going to take the opportunity to let the cat out of the bag and with a little premiere here. And it's not about you being a homosexual, Kevin. I wouldn't share that with the world. But what it is you two, I made that up, kids. You guys are going to be on stage together at Canoecopia for, is it a question and Q&A thing? A Q&A session? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, so everybody knows that now. Yeah, and I think that'll be amazing. In fact, we may be there doing a video. We're talking about doing a little bit of a documentary on Canoecopia. I don't know if it'll happen. It's going to be, of course, a matter of cost. But if we do that, that is going to be one of the things we're going to be filming or video, not even taping, just videoing at that show. So that'll be classic.
What's really cool, this is Cliff's genius, right? Cliff, you tell the whole story, but the whole idea was a few years back, I went to Darren at Rutabaga and I said, hey, I got this great idea. Cliff and I will go on stage and we'll debate about things, and I think that'd be fun. And then Darren said, Cliff will never agree to that. I went, actually, it was Cliff's idea.
I love that.
Yeah, and so we did it. We also did it at a couple of other shows, and I think it's fantastic. So you explain the whole thing, Cliff.
Well, the way we did it before is we picked out a whole bunch of gear, okay, and so there's many ways to skin a cat, okay, but there's some ways are better than others, and my ways are just better than Kevin's, of course, but. That was what we did. Actually, somebody gave us a couple of boxing robes. You still remember that?
Oh, wow.
And we had so much fun. In fact, we had so much fun. We had so many people in the audience. I think we had over 500 that somebody called the fire marshal and they shut us down and kicked us out. But this time it's going to be a Q&A thing. And we thought it would be really fun to do this. The only problem you have with these Q&A things is people are kind of shy to raise their hand and ask questions. So, if I may, I just want to say, if you're going to go to Canoecopia, if any listeners are here and they're going to go to our show, if you want us to consider your question, email me at my at info@cliffcanoe.com, info@cliffcanoe.com, and I'll just keep your questions. I'll share them with Kevin ahead of time, and we'll take all those first before we start taking them from the audience. So, because we're only going to have a limited amount of time. I don't know how much time they're giving us, but it'll be fun.
Can I offer something to you two gentlemen? I used to be a boxer. I still work out. I have boxing gloves. And if you two bring your bathrobes, I will bring some gloves and you can come out on stage. I think that would be perfect especially for our video, if we ended up doing that.
Except I don't think I still have that. I could find that. I couldn't find my boxing thing anymore.
And
just bring your bathrobe, Cliff. I'll bring your bathrobes. I'll bring the gloves. It'll be perfect. And of course, shorts are optional. Clothes underneath the robes. That Kevin, I know it's optional. I know you don't like to do that, but yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
This is characterizes the Kevin thing. So my father was a professional boxer actually, and so he went to show me how to box, and I remember he put gloves on me, and I went to, and then the lace hit him in the face and cut him. And I was like, I don't know how old I was. I don't know, let's say 8 years old, whatever. And I started crying because I actually cut my dad's face, right? And he goes, You'll never be a boxer.
There's no crying in boxing. No, and there's no crying in baseball. No.
Somehow I just can't ever picture Kevin hitting anybody. He just seems like he's just the sweetest, nicest
We'll
guy.
have to ask Dad about that. We'll have to ask
my dad
Callan about
my
that.
dad was pretty good about it because like he actually did say, you know, like, go and do what you want to do. You're obviously not going to be a boxer. So he was doing that, right? It's almost like Cliff, you and I were talking like your daughters and my daughter, and you know, you're asking before the show, is my daughter going canoeing with me? Well, right now she's not. She's doing her own thing. She's at a university and she's going to be a child psychologist. And I actually asked her why, and she goes, well, they're all messed up when they get older, so we might as well fix them when they're younger. And I laughed, and everybody goes, well, is she going to go canoeing with you? Well, probably she will later on in life, but you know, I was never a boxer, right? So I don't expect my daughter to become a canoeist, right? So
Yeah.
You know,
Does
we've
she
got a lot.
Did she like canoeing and camping, your daughter?
she loves it, but she's going to do it with her friends. I think, you know, remember that back in the days where we progressed, we didn't hang around with our parents. It wasn't cool anymore. So we did our own thing. So she'll go and do that with her friends, and I'll give them all the gear. But yeah, and it's almost like going on stage and singing. Oh my Lord! Remember the going on Cornucopia when she sang that song with Jerry that she wrote with Jerry about canoeing with Daddy and that whole thing. Well, that's so embarrassing for her now. I mean, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll just.
We have. So I got to jump in. I don't mean to interrupt you. We have a bunch of comments here. I didn't even realize.
yeah.
I didn't check.
Oh my Lord,
Bianca, you want to read a few of those and see what we got and tell us who they're from? And yeah.
See what we got.
what do you mean? Are you saying that's your 150th show and people are still watching?
I know. I'm thinking.
There are people watching right now.
Somehow or other, I can't figure out how. I have a full screen on here. How do I get the comments up?
You go to the very top there. You see private chat. That's where we tell dirty jokes while we're on the air.
Oh,
and then next to it is comments. You click on that.
What am I supposed to look at up there on the top?
Yeah, so you can read those. This is our last episode, and we're all figuring out how to do that. I love this. I love it.
Yeah, Mustang 774. Good evening, all from Newfoundland, Canada. Challenger shuttle.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes, I made it. Cool quest. Congratulations on 150 episodes. Cheers, man. LMAO. Camper 69 made it. Welcome.
There you go. Cool quest. Hi, Bianca. You got a hi, Bianca. Yeah, I love that.
All right. Fun with flannel. I can happy with clothes on, says Camper 69. Well, that's very impressive because I don't think our interviewees can. I'm using my 2020 tickets for Cornucopia 2023.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. Pretty cool.
Very cool. Well, we'll be there, Cliff. Great info to know. Yeah, and then the final cool quest. Hell yeah, I like that. So yeah, thank you for chiming in, guys, tonight, and appreciate that. And it's been fun to read these comments as they've come in. And actually we started the TV show. Cliff, I think it was the anniversary issue. Oh my gosh, I had video from that too, but I couldn't edit it in time. But the 1 year episode, we had Cliff on the show. We had like, I don't know, like 8 people or something like that, right? Or something. It was a lot, like that Brady Bunch. We had a lot of people on the show. And Cliff was having a little trouble that day with his internet, and he was having a hard time. But that was our first TV show, and I remember, wow, we got comments, and on the air I can read them live. It was so cool. And I also remember Mr. Callan, and this was funny. I don't know if Cliff ever saw this. Maybe he shouldn't, but he was having trouble getting in, and he couldn't hear us, and I don't know how it was going on with that. But Kevin says, wait. He can't hear us. Oh, good. Let's talk about him. And we went, and then finally, after a while, Cliff finally got through, and you were wearing a green jumpsuit that night, and it was very sexy, if I might add.
Oh,
Kevin,
I still have
Kevin
that.
made that comment as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he was too busy working out before the show. But were you driving somewhere at the time or whatever, Cliff? Because I looked at my favorite shows instead of the first show I was on. I'm thinking, what were my favorite shows?
What was that, Kev?
Do you have criminals in the house? Do you
No,
have burglars?
my Christmas tree just fell over.
Oh my
You got flying squirrels in the attic?
Oh my God.
I love it. I love it. We heard that live.
Yeah, it's breaking news.
I just put it up today. And it fell
Oh,
over.
wow.
It cost me $50.
You're gonna need some guy outs on that tree, I think.
Oh,
Kevin.
and it hit my dog.
You're gonna need some guy lines.
Oh,
What did it hit? Hit your
My
dog?
dog.
Oh wow.
Well, it's
Well,
okay. It was a cheap tree. It was only
Dog
this big,
dog
so-
gonna be okay, Kevin,
It's
or what?
probably okay.
Uncle
Oh my
Kev.
God.
is
Yeah,
the
well,
tree
there you go.
okay?
Yeah, is the tree gonna be okay?
You don't get the tree stand at the dollar store. Let's just say.
Oh,
All right, so sorry. I'll fix that later.
Well, you know what? We'll take a little break, and maybe while we're breaking, you can go and fix your situation. We'll be
There you
right back with more of the camping show on Talk 4 TV and W4CY Radio. Be right back.
There's sparks.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutobaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on the camping show.
And we're back with our guests, Cliff Jacobson and Kevin Callan, here on the very last episode as what's known as the camping show. Bianca, you had a question. Go ahead with that.
Yeah. What kind of dynamic or effect do each of you feel the camping show has had on the outdoor adventuring community? So this is kind of a question for the both of you guys.
Well, yes, me.
We thought you were going to come back as the Grinch.
Oh,
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. It really is. Sorry. Sorry, Cliff. Go ahead.
I think one of the things that it's done is it's gotten this information out to many countries around the world. Plus, it's gotten it out to places that are just couldn't go to places like Canoecopia or QAS or any of those other places. And it's been hardcore information. I mean, it's been stuff for real serious outdoors people, not, go out in your little camper and sit out there and roast marshmallows. The people you had on your show have been the real deal. And regrettably, it hasn't been, you've had to rename this thing and go on to a new type of format. You would think that in our country, what do we got? 300 and some odd million people. You'd think we could support a camping show, a pure, serious camping show. But, maybe not. I don't know. But at least it's given us a forum for getting really solid information out to people. Anyway, I love this show, and it'll continue in its pretty much same format. But I wish we could just get more people to realize how wonderful it really is.
Appreciate that, Cliff. Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the reasons for that, of course, is to attract sponsors that appeal to the paddle sports community. Even things like climbing, rock climbing, and snowshoeing and dog sleigh, all that kind of stuff, parasailing, SUP, because it is a rather small community, the camping community. It's a serious one, and it's a great one, by the way, but it is rather small. And when we rename the show Outdoors People opens up a ton of opportunity. In fact, real quickly here, we're going to have episodes on, believe it or not, sky surfing. I didn't even know something like that existed, but wild ice skating, cross-country skiing, hot air ballooning, skydiving, snowmobiling, ice climbing, sand duning, scuba diving, snorkeling, sailboat, all kinds of stuff like that, things we haven't done before. So, and some of that will be in this country, some of it will be, abroad. And so we're looking forward to just opening up more of the same, so to speak, and just a big, wide variety of things. And
let me just add one interesting thing to this. The irony is right now you can hardly get into a U.S. national park. I mean, you got to sign up a year in advance just to get in. Then you have a time slot, and all you do is you drive your car around the road and you leave. I mean, there's evidently incredible interest in wilderness. And yet either the majority of people don't want to embrace the knowledge that it takes to travel in wild places, or they just want to go to some developed campground and sit up there and put up their little pop-up and open their ice cooler. I don't know. But since COVID, it has basically been almost impossible, and that's a correct word, to get into a national park in this country. I don't know how it is in Canada, but Kevin can say something about that. But that's what this show offers, is how to do that.
Yeah.
But people, unfortunately, people don't want to learn stuff. They want to buy something to fix their problems. They just want to buy. God forbid they'd have to learn how to camp or learn how to canoe or learn how to use a map and compass. No, that's effort. But sorry, didn't mean to. Forgive the rant.
I think you're accurate. I think you're very right on, Cliff. We've had talk a number of times, but yeah, absolutely.
What's happening in Canada with your provincial and
quickly with that? We're winding down on 3 minutes left here, and then it just and I'm gonna ask Bianca some closing thoughts here before we close our final show. So.
Yeah, 3 minutes. I'll do 30 seconds. First of all,
No. Go ahead, Kevin. You probably have a lot more interesting things to say than I do.
No. I just it's a balsam Christmas tree, and I got sap all over my hands because it fell over.
Sounds like a sticky subject.
So your next show should be how to handle a balsam Christmas tree. But no, same thing happened here in Canada, Cliff, for sure. 72% increase in popularity of outdoor pursuits. I spent all my life, and you spent all your life trying to get people outdoors so they can reconnect, so they can actually protect it once they reconnect. We just had to have a pandemic happen, and that solved everything. But they're not willing to actually, not all of them, but a good majority of them are not willing to actually be educated about the etiquette, the knowledge. Because when I went on a canoe trip, and Cliff, I followed your book, your Bible of the book of how to travel in North American rivers. When I did my first big trip when in my 20s down the Mississippi River, and I used that, and I trained for like 2 years to be able to have that ability to do that. Now people just want it. Give me. I want it. And what's going to happen now is we're going to go through a transition period. I'm not going to say that the world's ending, right? I'm not doing that. But we're going through a transition period where a lot of people are going to want, and we're going to get probably 10% of the people after that really do want, and they're going to want to learn and get those skills. So we're going through a period right now, and there you go, Bianca. Go for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's very good. Very insightful. Yeah, Bianca, any closing thoughts as we come to the end of the final episode here?
I know, as far as the camping show goes, and your endeavors, and everything that you're doing here, and opening up a world of knowledge to everybody for free. It's a podcast. You can listen to it. You don't have, and it's live, which is great, but you can listen to it, watch it whenever you want. And that is so awesome to provide that. And I hope that what you're doing here just soars, and you can continue to do this for a very long time, because even the short time that I was on with you, like I said earlier, I've learned so much, and it's motivated me to want to do more and to see people decades older than myself just be out there and do things, and it's very inspirational, and I hope that everybody else continues to be inspired by this, because no doubt, and you're no short of that with everything that you provide on the show.
Oh, I really appreciate that a lot. That's very kind of you. And yeah, I hope that we have accomplished educating some people. You can't educate everyone, of course, but some people really latch on, and some people don't. Like you said, Kevin, want. And I do hope that we've tried to have the type of topics and the type of people here that were experts, and the kind of things that we thought people really wanted to know and learn. So yeah, I hope we've accomplished it, which is our motto, our slogan: learn more, do more. So yep. Anyway, well, I really appreciate that. And as we close down here, we'd like to thank you, Cliff and Kevin, both for being our guests here on the Camping Show now and in the past. So it was an absolute pleasure having you here this evening and on the show in general. So really appreciate you guys. I've had conversations with both of you, regarding the show and the future thereof, and all kinds of stuff and topics and all that throughout the past 3 years. So I really appreciate you guys' support and help. So, and Bianca, I appreciate your professionalism very much. So, all right.
Bianca, it was brutal. CW phones Cliff and I on a whim. Like I'm just driving somewhere. He just calls me. He just like my Lord, does he have a life?
That's how I got hit with it too, man.
Oh,
You just get
the only advantage of this entire show is we saw Cliff Jacobson in a lime green jumpsuit. That's all I got out of it.
I love it. Oh my God.
Hey, you guys.
I hope to see that real soon. Next time you're on, please, or even a red jumpsuit. I don't know.
She's fun. She's fun. You keep her on your show.
I love it.
Well, we'd also like to thank each of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's show: Campground Views and Rutabaga Paddle Sports. I'm Bianca Fogel.
And this is CW Goetz saying see ya. And we'll see you next year. And we'll see you, Bianca, and everyone have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year.
Yes, hope to see everybody soon. Yes, happy holidays.
Bye-bye.